What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Tony Michelle, aka Fat Girl Snoop, and I hope you guys are having a terrific Thirsty Thursday. You know why I am here, and that is to drop my 2 cents on all the latest celebrity deets. And I'm going to talk about Boosie going after Wendy for NBA Youngboy. And I'm also going to do my review on Married at First Sight, last night's episode. So let's get started with Boosie. Hey Boosie, how you doing? Well, let me tell y'all what's happening with Boosie. So remember, I was telling you guys that Wendy Williams basically has some things to say. Let me move her over a little bit. Oops. Wendy, move over. So remember I was telling you guys about Wendy having some things to say about NBA Youngboy, right? So she has some things to say about NBA Youngboy's latest arrest. Remember I was telling you guys she was basically calling him, basically in all my words, a menace to society, and how it was dangerous, how he, led the police off into a high-speed chase, and they basically cornered him, and then they ended up arresting him without injury. There was to a point where if he wasn't going to come out from hiding wherever he was, they was going to actually send the canines out. So, Wendy was basically talking her mess and saying that he deserves to go to jail, and how can he have time to be, doing all this extracurricular activities where he is 21 years old and he has 7 kids. So remember, I was telling you that his mother jumped into it and basically was like, you need to leave my son alone and concentrate on the 90-year-old man that's sucking your peen. That's what you need to be worried about. So Wendy did not respond. I guess she felt like it was beneath her to respond. So Boosie actually jumped into the mix. Now, Boosie does not have any kind of filter. He says what he says, and he's very unapologetic about it. So I guess, at the end of the day, Boosie is a fan of Wendy. So this is what Boosie tweeted out. Okay, so at first he tweeted out this. Once NBA Youngboy got arrested and, he's being held by the feds, Boosie tweeted out, "Free the GOAT, YB, till we see the GOAT. He go be back." I don't know if he meant to say he gonna be back, but he go be back, whatever. So I guess he caught wind of what Wendy had to say, and he tweeted this. He said, "Stop it, Wendy Williams. You did a hot 21 kilos of that Christina Aguilera before your 21st birthday, all the way till your amazing tumble." Boosie, why you had to jump in it? I guess he was like trying to take up for his boy. So he has some things to get off his chest. Now, Boosie, what you need to be doing is worried about how you are raising your kids. Because the last thing we heard was that you basically let a stripper give your son some fellatio. So, and that was way before your son's 21st birthday. He ain't even turned 21 yet, and he's already getting fellatio from strippers. So you don't have any room to talk, okay, Boosie? And did y'all hear how Dwayne Wade actually did an interview, and he was talking about, he didn't name any names, but he was basically saying how he supports his daughter, I think her name is Zaya or something like that he supports her full-heartedly because, teens are out here killing themselves over their sexuality. And, he was just, that was such a very intriguing interview. But Boosie, you need to get together, brother. You don't have a fight in this war, okay? And I feel, yeah, I know you were taking up for your boy, but it's like you're basically throwing a stone at a glass house. Isn't that how they say it? That American saying. So yeah, so Boosie has some things to say about Wendy, and I did watch her show today. She did not respond. And speaking of Wendy, this is totally my opinion and my opinion only. Now I don't know if you guys are a fan and y'all watch the show, but me, that is my gossip godmother, and I do support her every which way that I can. I've actually been on her show a few times. But Wendy, if you listen to my little podcast and or her people see it, you need to get rid of Sus One. I do not see the chemistry with you two. You've said several times that you've been biting Sus out. Sus does not hang out with you like that. He has other things to do. Okay, and he lets it be known on the show. But the one thing I could say about Sus One is that he is not a yes ma'am, no ma'am type of guy. Like if he does not agree with something, he's going to tell her that he does not agree with it, and he has done that over and over and over again. Like he is a completely different from DJ Booth. Now, in my opinion, her and DJ Booth, they had a great connection, and they seem to have been, great friends and good friends outside of work, as well as behind the scenes, as well as in front of the camera. It was such a great chemistry. But I just feel like that this new pick was for Sus One was very rushed. And I just don't see him gelling with her and with the show. He seems very, very uninterested. And he just seems to be there just to get paid. And when the lights come down and the curtain closes, that man is out doing his own thing, okay? He is not on the Wendy's bandwagon. That is just my opinion. If you have an opinion and you have a 2 cents, please feel free and drop it in the comments. Okay, so Wendy, let go of Sus. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it at all. Okay, so let's move on to I'm going to do my review on last night's episode of Married at First Sight. So let's start with the most boring to the most ratchet. So you guys already know how that is going to go. So let's start with Ryan and Clara. Absolutely nothing has changed. Ryan is still hanging on to his peen. He's not giving her no type of loving, no type of affection. And basically, Clara's to the point where she's like, hey, man, take advantage of me, choke me, throw me on the bed. Just do it already. And he's like, oh my God, like, I'm just not there yet. And she's like, well, if you're waiting to say that you love me, that's going to be too late. Like, how you going to say you love me? And I don't even know how your opinion is, okay? How can I say I love you to a guy that I don't even know how he is in bed? That's her thought. So he's basically like, well, things are going to take time and blah, blah, blah. And Clara's like, look, if you don't give me that peen, okay, I'm going to be out of here. I don't know how much longer I could take, okay? Now, Clara, you need to send me your address because I'll be happy to forward you a little toy that will basically put Ryan to pure shame, girl. Once you get this toy, you will not even know who. You got Ryan who? Who? Ryan who? Girl, you could buy that, girl. Trust me. You let me know if you need some tips from your girl, okay? Because I would definitely help you out. So nothing's really changed with them, and I do not think that she is invested in this. I think she's trying, but I don't see this lasting. unless he gives up the rod. Okay? Move it on to Vincent and Brianna. Now, I am starting to like these two. They are starting to remind me of what I cannot, Armani and, oh my God, I cannot believe it. Woody. Yes, Woody. They are kind of on that same wave. They're getting along better. He actually surprised her with a dinner on their 30-day anniversary. He asked her, basically, do you feel like you're married? And she said, no, I don't really feel like I'm married yet, but, I'm getting to know you, and I, can't imagine my life with you not here. But he's like, oh my God, me too. So they're in lovey-dovey land. They did not fight this week. They're getting along great. So I see this couple actually lasting, and I see this couple going on to doing the little side shows like Married at First Sight, Couples Cam, and all that. I see these two doing it. Yeah, I like these two, so I'm rooting for these two. And Brianna has been on her best behavior, and Vince seemed like he is more open and he is becoming less sensitive. Now, I might be speaking too soon. I'm just basing it on the last episode. So kudos for them. I'll be looking for them. So let's move on to the most hopeless couple besides Chris and Paige, which will be Haley and Jacob. Now, I have to give my boy Jacob props. Now, Jacob is not with Haley's BS anymore, and they went to go see some type of psychic. The psychic basically told us everything that we already knew. So the broad wasn't really a psychic. It don't take a psychic to know that this is just not working. Jacob basically told Hallie that he's basically tired of her ish. He does not see this marriage going anywhere. And then he had a good point, because he was like, when I try to kiss you on the day of the wedding, you kind of push back and you didn't want nothing to do with the kiss. And she's like, but yeah, that's because you was a stranger. And he was like, but he said, you barely even want to hug me. She was like, yeah, because you was a stranger. And he was like, well, when you approach a stranger and you give him a hug, you don't seem repulsive about that. So it's basically the same thing. And he was like, at the end of the day, you just didn't want to kiss and hug me. And then he let her know that, I know you're not attracted to me. I know that you're not, on board with this marriage. You're basically checked out. And he basically was like, look, let's not waste each other's time. We don't have to wait the additional 2-4 weeks or whatever it is. He said, you could just bounce now. It's all good. You could go to your house, now stay at my house. It's all good. So then, Haley knew that the guy was telling her the truth. But she had the audacity to sit there and start crying like, oh my God, I don't know where this marriage is going to be. Girl, where it's going to head. Girl, it's going to head to Splitsville. Like we all know, Jacob is not going to sit there and take your mess. And I don't blame him. And by the way, I was watching this other after show for Married at First Sight, and Jacob. Now, although you might think that he does not look, he does not look good. To me, I think he's very handsome, and not to mention, so he's stuck in the 80s. He's even handsome to me after that. And y'all, ladies out there, I don't know if y'all watched that little after show, but Jacob had a beard, honey, and he was looking like a snack. Now, I wonder if Haley liked the actual beard on him, but he looked really good on that special. But yeah, so Jacob is like, kick rocks. I mean, you're pretty, but just kick rocks, Haley. Okay. And I don't blame him. He's not going to kiss her ass. And I don't blame him for not kissing her ass. 'Cause at the end of the day, to me, and I've always said it since the first day of the show, Haley is very, very shallow because she did not take time to get to know Jacob. She was just looking at his outward appearance and the fact that he loves the 80s and all that. She did not take the time to get to know him. She hauled ass every chance she got, spending the night with Paige, going out with her friends, not inviting him. So, she always be ducking. So, I don't blame him for not wanting to, deal with it. But tonight, I can't wait to see what he has to say tonight. Tonight, they actually having the Journey So Far special. They've never done it, and I'm curious to see what he's going to say, and I'm curious to see if he's going to have that beard, because he was looking good. Jacob, call me. Okay, so, all right, let's get enough of them, and let's move on to Eric and Virginia, the drunken couple in love. I don't think I have seen a scene with these two that they were not drinking, especially Virginia. I just think she is just drinking just to, get her mind away from things, to be perfectly honest. But every time I see these two, they are popping bottles. So this week's episode, Eric took Virginia out. He's a pilot, so he took her out flying. It was all lovey-dovey until they landed, and they was basically talking about, their living arrangements. And Virginia was like, "Hey, I don't want to live in your bachelor's pad. I want us to move into our own house." And then Eric was like, "Oh no, like my house is already paid for, and it makes no sense for us to get a new house." And she's like, "Well, I just don't feel comfortable, staying in your house, because that's your house. I want to move into our house." And Eric is like, "Nah, that's not happening. And, you could basically, if you want to go live somewhere else, go ahead. You can move somewhere else. Now just stay at my house." But Eric, she's absolutely right. Why would she want to stay in your house? Okay, after you were basically married, that's a bachelor's pad. God knows how many women you had up in there at that fake fireplace that you had. That and she's like, "No, I'm not having it." Virginia, I am with you on this one, girl. Don't fall for the BS. Okay, do not fall for it. He is not worth it, and I'm really sick and tired of Eric. You are just. You're getting on my nerves for the simple fact that you are treating this girl not as a wife, but as a daughter. You are not her father. You're supposed to be her husband, and there is a major difference. You claim that you are this marriage expert because you've been married before, but clearly you're not, because that's why you got divorced in the first place. So clearly there was some issues going on with you. If you just open up and let Virginia be Virginia, then maybe she'll open up to you and whatever. But I from day one, these two, I never trusted them, because like I said, day one, they were slobbing. I mean, the minute they met, they were slobbing each other down and kissing each other. Just too lovey-dovey, kissy for the two people who just met. But then again, they were so damn drunk since their wedding that I don't even think that they know each other sober. For once, I would like to see these two sober. I mean, the only time we see them sober is when they wake up and when they're brushing their teeth, because after that they're drinking mimosas at breakfast. Okay, they just stay drunk. So I call them the drunken love couple. So Virginia, I don't know, like this is like a really up in the air. I don't see Virginia staying with Eric, because at the end of the day, he seems like he has it going on. But his self-esteem is, okay, shot to shit. Okay. So yeah, that is what's going on with them. And last but not least, this couple, Chris and Paige. Chris and Paige. And you know what, Paige? Nothing has changed. I still do not feel sorry for you. And I'm gonna start calling Chris the Derrick Jaxn of Married at First Sight, because either he got some good peen, or his gift of gab is strong, because there is no way I will let this guy treat me the way he treated her on national TV. Okay, so in case you missed last night's episode, it was another day, another moment of Chris Williams wasting my time, okay? On the latest episode of Married at First Sight, viewers were appalled to see Chris up to his old toxic tricks, this time gaslighting Paige for poor communication. And you have the nerve to go at her about poor communication, where you don't even want to be seen with this girl unless it's on camera. Okay, outside the cameras, you don't want nothing to do with this girl. But as soon as the cameras are on, you coming in with your tight ass clothes, your tight ass suit, thinking you look like GQ Smooth, and you look swollen, Chris. You look swollen. Okay, so now remember I was telling you guys that this couple basically did a reset. So we thought, okay, everything is good in the hood. Okay, now despite the fact that Chris has told Paige that I'm not attracted to you, that I got a girl pregnant, my ex-fiance pregnant. He failed to tell her that he was engaged twice. He failed to tell her that. It took his pastor to tell her that. So she confronted him about that in last night's episode. He was talking all this crap about not being attracted to her, but yet he was still smashing it. But it takes two to tango when she was letting him. And even after he told her that he wasn't attracted to her, she still was letting him hit. And then when she asked him, "Oh my God, how could you do this to me? Why would you smash my cakes to smithereens?" And he's like, "Oh, I did it because I just wanted to make sure that that I will be attracted to you. I thought this would help me be attracted to you, and it has not. I'm still not attracted to you, Paige." But despite of him getting the girl, his ex-fiance, so-called pregnant, I still do not believe that girl is pregnant. I'm going to say it once, and I'm going to say it again. Now, so Paige actually went and saw the girls. She was telling the girls basically how Chris told her that he bought a Mercedes. And then remember Chris last week was trying to act like, oh yeah, she got into a car accident and now that she's pregnant, I don't want her to be taking ride shares. But he failed to say that the accident was 6 years ago. So you mean to tell me after 6 years of her being an accident, all of a sudden you found it in your heart to buy a Mercedes? I ain't buying it. I don't think you bought Mercedes. I doubt that, and I'm not going to believe it. I don't care how much stuff you put on the internet, Chris. I am not believing that you bought that girl a Mercedes when all your businesses allegedly are closing down. And I heard that his Subway, the one that just closed down allegedly, that no one wanted to work for him because he was an effed up boss. They used to yell at his staff and treat them like dirt. Nobody didn't want to work for him. So at the end of the day, his business tanked. Allegedly. Okay, so now remember that the two had the Bible study, and Chris brought over the bucket of chicken and waffles, and they was having Bible study, and he just came out and said about the car, how he bought Mercedes a car, and despite hearing that, Paige pushed through again, okay? And sadly, but surprisingly, she got embarrassed yet again. Now, this week, there was a I don't know how y'all feel, but I felt like that stupid game of basketball was very unnecessary, Chris. By the looks of your body and your beer belly, you have not been on that court in a long, long time. And to me, it just was so mind-boggling. It was just ridiculous. And then they ended up later on playing a game of pool. Chris shows up in this tight-ass 3-piece suit, basically choking him like this, playing pool. I thought he was going to bust. I thought his ass was going to bust out the seams of the pants when he bent down and, shoot the pool. I thought it was going to, but it didn't. But so they was playing pool, and he had the nerve to accuse Paige of being a bad communicator. Now, mind you, this is the same man who said that texting or calling her once a day feels forced. Now, all of a sudden, Chris feels that Paige's poor communication is a big problem in their marriage. Not the fact that you got the ex-fiance so-called pregnant. Not the fact that you told Paige that you're not attracted to her. Not the fact that you told Paige that you're not going to basically take care of her or do anything when it comes down to the household. Not the fact that you told her that y'all was not going to share finances or discuss finances. Not the fact that you said that you wasn't going to take care of her dog, that she basically had to walk the dog and feed the dog herself. You want absolutely nothing to do with the dog. But all that is not a problem. But the fact that Paige did not answer your text message because she was too busy taking care of things with her mom, all of a sudden, that is a problem. And then Chris had the audacity to tell Paige that the only time you want to speak with me is in front of the cameras. Well, duh, of course, because that's the only opportunity that she has to speak with you is in front of the cameras, because that's the only time that your half-ass, smiling ass, goofy looking ass shows up. Okay, so that she had no choice but to talk to you in front of the cameras. So Paige told him, like, hey, you need to be more consistent on communication. Chris, like I said, flipped it around, accused Paige of ignoring him and not the other way around. This is what Chris said. Chris said, it shouldn't be this hard to communicate with someone like you. That's been my problem with you, communication. From a communication standpoint, I just don't feel like you're trying. He then went on and on and on and on about them not doing a good job at being spouses, and said that his emotional needs weren't being met, and this pissed Paige off. Paige goes and says, I'm saying you don't respect me. That's what it is. So Chris goes, I don't respect you. I do respect you. Yeah, we're married. I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am. We don't communicate. I can't even focus on building what we're building because you don't even answer the freaking phone. I don't have ish to say in person because you ain't got ish to say off the camera. Please, people, make it make sense. Make it make sense. We've seen, since this little stuff that they got going on, when the couples, they get their little milestone, like, oh, they're married for a week, or they're married for 2 weeks, so now they're married. Like every milestone, Paige has been celebrating it alone. The only time we see Chris's beer belly ass is when the cameras are up. We're not stupid, and don't try to flip it on Paige. Now, Paige, like I said, I don't feel sorry for you, girl. So, but I am going to take up for you on this one. And I'm glad that for once you are standing up to this man who continuously brings you down on national television every single chance that he gets, and like and Pastor Cal, okay, he has been saying since day one, since the backlash of the season, that Paige had every opportunity to bounce, but yet she stuck it through because in her eyes, Chris is the man that God sent her. Okay, she's been adamant about it. That's why she's been sticking to it, because she said, this is God. He is God sent. No, he is God sent as far as a mistake. Okay. I'm sorry, Lord. He probably put Chris in your life to show you what kind of man not to get, okay? I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over and over and over. Now, Chris went on to say that they don't have a good connection and that he was out and gone mentally. Brother, you was never in it. You was never in this marriage. You wanted to be on national TV, on a national show to get noticed. The only time you was checked in and mentally there was when you was beating Paige's cakes in. Okay, that's the only time that you were checked in and mentally on point. So Chris basically said again, like this is like not surprising that they're at a dead end. Now Paige was then left to celebrate their 1-month anniversary by her lonesome, and she tortuously watched the wedding video, by herself. That's what all the couples did. They watched their wedding and all that. And, Paige, again, was there left alone watching the wedding video by herself. But where was Chris? Probably somewhere beating somebody's back in, okay? So, yeah. Now, I wonder, it's just my opinion, I wonder now, since the season is out and everybody's watching it, I wonder is Paige every time she looks at that wedding video, now she sees what Chris really thought of her when she walked down that aisle. Because the first thing he said was sugar, honey, iced tea, and it was not in a good way. Okay, he was not impressed by Paige whatsoever. Now, at the season mid trailer, we do see Chris confessing that he still loves Paige despite him treating her like trash, gaslighting her, calling her unattractive, and playing mind games. In the next episode, we get to see the trailer that he's telling his mom that he wants a divorce. And Paige, oh God, Paige, you're not going to listen to me anyway, but girl, it's time to go. It's time. But I am going to watch tonight's episode. They're having like the journey so far. So I'm really curious to see what Paige is going to say. I'll be back tomorrow to discuss that with you guys. See where your headspace is at. Or is she still full of ish? I think she is. And I just think she's giving this guy, too much credit. So let me know what you guys think of last night's episode. Do you think Paige and Chris are going to last, or do you see them divorcing like I do? Do you feel sorry for Paige? Are you on Chris's side? Are you team Chris? Are you team Paige? Did he have a right to come at her like that? I don't think so. But hey, we all have our 2 cents, and that's just mine. Now, like I said, I will be watching tonight, okay? So you guys won't have to. Well, that is my time for today. Let me know what you guys think about Boosie going after Wendy. Tell her how she smoked 21 kilos before she turned 21 and before her life went tumbling down. And let me know what you guys think about last night's episode of Married at First Sight. What couples do y'all think is going to last, and what couples do y'all see headed down Splitsville? And remember, you can catch me every day on my website, fatgirlsnoop.com. And if you like this podcast and you want to see more of my shenanigans, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, my people, that is PHAT as in pretty, hot, and tempting. Bye for now. It's Thursday.